afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Hi, I'm Ria Bautista. I'm the Capital Planning Manager for Construction and Demolition Department. Director LaJuan Counts can't make it today, but she sends her regards. We're here today to celebrate the restoration of the Dodge Fountain here at Hart Plaza, thanks to $6.7 million from President Biden's American Rescue Plan Act. After decades, the fountain is 100% back to welcome everyone. You may have noticed the restored fountain running over the past few weeks, but today we can finally enjoy its full glory. With Mayor Duggan's leadership and the ARPA funds, Dodge Fountain has been transformed. We were able to restore 184 lights, 144 misters, 22 down jets, 3 spray rings, and 72 panels. This showcased the dedication and hard work of the construction and demolition team and project manager Lance Gaylord. It's been an honor to be part of this historic and iconic restoration project. You see, it's about restoring a beloved community space with deep historical and cultural significance for Detroiters. Hart Plaza has always been a hub of community activities and festivals. With Fountain restored, we look forward for many more festivals and celebration with this beauty as its focal point. It always has been a reviving, cherished part of Detroit and creating new memories for Detroiters. Thank you to Mayor Duggan, city officials, community partners, and everyone who supported this project. And now, please join me to welcome Mayor Mike Duggan, whose leadership has been a key part of restoring this project.
Well, I think we're about to see something that hasn't been seen in decades. At least I'm hoping we are when we push the button. But one of Detroit's serious deficiencies over the years has been its lack of commitment to great public spaces. And great public spaces can unite a community, bringing in people from all walks of life, and it can shape the identity of a city. And it has been hard to watch over the years as the great public spaces of Detroit decline, Palmer Park and Rouge Park, Chandler Park, but no public space declined more than Hart Plaza and the Dodge Fountain. I worked here in the early 1980s, and when the Dodge Fountain worked, it was spectacular. But I think many of you know the history. It had troubles from the beginning. It was turned on in 1976. Then it was turned off for 2 years while they programmed the computers. And they bragged in the 1970s about a computer-run water fountain. You can imagine how that went. And it was off and on for the 1980s. But you came down here on a night it was working, on a summer night, and there was no sight like it. But through the 1980s, you know what happened. Hudson's closed, the train station closed, businesses moved out, and keeping up Hart Plaza and the Dodge Fountain wasn't a priority. And it continued to deteriorate. And since the city went into bankruptcy in 2013, it hasn't worked at all. When I came in, I made a huge commitment to public spaces, and as everybody knows, the 270 city parks have been restored in a way that people hadn't seen in a long time. Go around our city on a Saturday and Sunday and see the way they're being used. Along the riverfront, we created a spectacular Riverside Park on southwest Detroit near the Ambassador Bridge, and we're rebuilding A.B. Ford Park, another waterfront park on the far east side. And just north of here, at first we created some controversy when we shut down Woodward, but now Spirit Plaza has become one of the most beloved public spaces in the city. But you came across the street, and we still had a problem here at Hart Plaza. And we wanted to elevate this to the kind of space a great city like Detroit deserves. And thanks to Joe Biden in the American Rescue Plan, we had $9 million to rebuild this plaza, and the majority of which went into the fountain. And I want to thank City Council and Councilman Durhall, but it's been really interesting to me. We've had it working a little bit, and at the Movement Festival, everybody said the fountain was the highlight of the Movement Festival, except at the Movement Festival, the water only went down. Most Detroiters don't realize the fountain's supposed to go up, but it's been so many years since that's happened, they haven't seen it. We wanted to restore this great fountain to its original grandeur. And with the work that Lawan Counts and the team you're going to hear from have done, it's going to be the kind of spectacle that we imagine. So you are going to get a chance to see today something people have waited decades to see, which is a fully functioning Dodge fountain in Hart Plaza. And with that, I want to thank our ally, and bring him up, who helped us create the great public space at Spirit Plaza, who supported the creation of public spaces all across the city, including the new rec center the Pistons are building over in his neighborhood in Rouge Park. Please welcome the great Councilman Fred Durhall.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and want to thank you for your leadership. Today is a tremendous day because it lets you know how far we have come in the city of Detroit. When we talk about our parks, our spaces, places for our kids to recreate so they can enjoy, places that brings our community together, nothing is more indicative of a place like Hart Plaza. All of our city festivals take place right down here. And today is a very special day for me, and I wanted to be at this press conference because I remember being a little kid running around playing in this fountain when my father worked right across the street in the Coleman A. Young Municipal Building. And I remember coming down here with my daughter, and one of the first questions she asked was, why does the fountain not work? And I told her that's a little bit more of a complicated answer that I could give you. But what I can assure you is that we are going to work and make it work. And she's here today, so she'll get the opportunity to see when we press the button our fountain working. But it really takes a team. It really takes a collaborative effort. And the mayor and his leadership, if you look at all of our parks and recreation spaces over the last 10 years, they have been brought back to life. And it has brought new hope to our community. And so I am thankful for his entire team, Crystal Perkins, Lawan Counts, all of the great people who made today possible. But to hear a little bit more about history and what this fountain means to Detroiters, I want to introduce our city historian, Mr. Jamal Jordan, who will tell you what this fountain means to Detroit, its history, and we're hopeful again to see that water today. Well, Jamon's not here, so I will bring up Ms. Crystal Perkins, one of the most amazing people that make our parks and recs what they are. Crystal.
Yes. Thank you. I believe Jamon had a commitment that was more important than this one. But I am here, and I just want to say thank you to the mayor for your vision for our public spaces. You know, we have poured a lot into the parks through the mayor's vision, but I love the fact that we have restored Dodge Fountain, given the gift that we received from President Joe Biden with the American Rescue Act funding, and also the leadership of Lawan Counts, Director Counts of the Demo and Construction, and her team. You guys did a phenomenal job with this city asset. And I just want to say, just like others who spoke before me, just like Councilmember Durhall, I too have very young childhood memories of being here. And I too have brought my children down to Hart Plaza for events. And my daughter asked the same question, is where's the water? And so I do have a little bit of history. I'm not the historian, but I can tell you that the original description of the fountain was said to represent a source of energy and an engine for the city. During that time, it was said that an engine was a dream that powered the automotive industry. But the groundbreaking of the fountain started in 1975, and the fountain was completed in 1981. And it took some time, but it's really an incomparable landmark for the city. I don't know if you've seen the video when Lawan took her team and Channel 7 went behind the scenes on restoring this. There's over 300 jets, 300 lights, and it can run 7.5 hours without completing a configuration. And so that was all the information from the original designs of the fountain. And so we are glad that this fountain is restored. I can now bring my daughter when we come down for the fireworks and hopefully show her that there is water in this fountain. And the mayor mentioned how at Movement it was such an attraction for the visitors and the guests during that time. But also, Mayor, I would like to say during the NFL draft, they asked us to turn it off because they were getting wet. So we are excited that the fountain is completed. I can't wait to see the light show that the fountain gives us. And again, I am thankful and grateful for the team that made this happen. Thank you. And next I will bring up Mr. Talbot. Phil Talbot is, he's behind the scenes on helping the City of Detroit General Services Recreation Department with all the events that we put on. But he's special because he's retired from the City of Detroit, and he's a Detroiter, and he holds this city and this community in his heart. So without further ado, I'll bring up Mr. Talbot.
Thank you, Director Perkins. I began my journey with this iconic structure in 1977. That was my first assignment. I was sent here as an Urban Corps student here to Hart Plaza. And me and the fountain became friends. And we have been friends from the time, the 27 years I spent with the city, but since then, the time I've spent as a minority contractor working with the city as a Detroit-based and family-owned company. And during that time, I've seen this new, I've seen it weathered, I've seen it worn, but I get to see it new again. That's something that you can say is an honor and a privilege. So let the water flow, let the lights go again, but let's make sure it's going for a new generation. My grandchildren get to see this magnificent, iconic structure. So, without further ado, I have the honor of introducing Sam Fortis. He represents Paxson Howe, and Paxson Howe is a major event producer and promoter. You heard about Movement, that's Movement, and they also work with the Jazz Festival, and they keep everything going here at Hart Plaza. So without further ado, Sam Fortis.
Thank you for that incredible introduction, Phil. I know it's hot out here. My speech is only 10 or 12 pages long, so just hang in. On behalf of myself and the Movement Festival team, I'd like to thank the City of Detroit Mayor's Office and Lawan Construction and Demolition Department for inviting us to speak at this incredibly joyous occasion. Detroit's Electronic Music Festival is a 25-year legacy event that is held every year on Memorial Day weekend here at Hart Plaza. Movement Weekend also welcomes more out-of-town, out-of-state, and out-of-country visitors than any other annual event in the city, drawing tens of thousands of attendees both locally and globally to celebrate Detroit's rich musical history and honor its legacy as the birthplace of techno, something we're all incredibly proud of. This year was extra special to see the fountain completely restored to Mayor Duggan's statement, and to see the amazing response and emotional engagement by our attendees who have been used to seeing it shut off over the last 10 or 12 years. The reactions of joy and admiration from our attendees towards this beautiful work of art was incredible. Thank you to Mayor Duggan and to our incredible partners at the City of Detroit, the Parks and Rec Department, General Services Department, and a very generous ARPA grant for their hard work and support in restoring the Horace A. Dodge Fountain and preserving, most importantly, Isamu Noguchi's original vision. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for coming today for the Dodge Fountain Restoration Celebration. Again, and a special thanks to all who supported this project. At this time, I would like to direct media and everyone over to the fountains for a special 3-minute show, and we'll take questions after. Down towards the fountain, everyone. Keep on going, keep on going.
Check out the video at the end.